Hello friends and family from around the world, this is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on April 2nd, 2024. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update, as well earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Always starting out here, looking at the sun for the past 48 hours. No major solar events to report, actually going through an earth-facing quiet. Solar X-ray flux is right down, and we haven't seen a strong flare anywhere. Having a look at the last 48 hours incoming, we do have a plasma filament that lifted from the northern region, which is on the right-hand side, but no visible sunspots turning in for Earth-facing just yet. Having a look at outgoing, this was our most recent flare region from sunspot in the southern equatorial. Turning away, did produce a CME. Multispectrum pointing out the last 48 hours of events. In the last 2 days, we've seen one M-class solar flare. We also have Earth facing a coronal hole right now, expecting that coronal hole wind stream to hit us overnight tonight. That will increase our solar winds, as they're slightly above average right now, around 400 kilometers per second. And as well, another coronal hole turning in. 193 angstroms here. Just another amazing way to see our sun today, brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory. Observing here 5 sunspot regions, 4 of them turning away. Current space weather conditions, we are under none right now. Solar winds are coming in at 454 kilometers per second. And as you can see here, solar X-ray flux telemetry right down into an upper B range ever since all that activity that we've seen the last couple weeks. Geomagnetic activity is low, but will pop up overnight with the coronal hole wind stream. Current look at space weather prediction here. You can see those coronal hole wind streams getting ready to come to Earth. And we'll get another set heading in for the 6th or the 7th. Other than that, no major CMEs taking off. ISWA Space Prediction Spiral showing here the most recent CME taking off outgoing. And that was from the M-class solar flare. And here is the last 48 hours. Having a look at the LASCO coronagraph. One of the safest ways to watch the sun here with daily events worldwide and all of its activity and cosmic energies thwarted. Now let's get to earthquakes past 24 hours, as it's been semi-busy, slightly above average right now, and we did report a 6.2 earthquake here, northern Mariana Islands, Marianas Trench, with the largest earthquake the last 24 hours. Deepest earthquake here, 4.7 Fiji, 540 kilometer depth, that was reported last night. Deepest earthquake today being here in Indonesia. As well, Japan seeing a 5.9 earthquake there in Kuji, 4.6 southward, 4.2 earthquake there in Greece off the coast, and as well notable 4.0 earthquake here reported in Bosnia, right on the fault line there. South American plate, semi-quiet today. Largest being a 4.9, but 4.6 there, Bolivia. And as well, Puerto, Chile. Peru with a 4.3. And then the northern East Pacific plate with a 5.3 and a 4.5. And then interesting activity here, Dominican Republic 4.0, very deep for the region. Looking across the United States, no major swarms to talk about, but increasing activity up into the Pacific Northwest has me a little bit concerned. Give a quick browse here at the last 24 hours across North American soil, as USGS has been reporting 219 earthquakes in the map area right now. Lots of activity up into Washington, Vancouver border as well, all around Yellowstone and north of Yellowstone. Have a look at the last 30 days for earthquakes all across American soil. Notable swarms through White City, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and notable minor seismicity all across the west coast. And notable across the New Madrid, so heads up everybody. And that's the last 24 hours. Have a quick browse here at the last 7 days. Take a quick moment to thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and thanks for all the love and support to this channel, keeping humanity aware and prepared. Don't forget to go to the notification bell. If you don't want to miss an update, make sure you set your notifications to all. And much love, everybody. Stay safe and healthy. Now let's have a look at our air quality forecast, brought to you by our 45 erupting volcanoes around the world. Sulfur dioxide emissions here. Big eruptions through Mexico, and as well eruptions through Kamchatka, still spewing lots of SO2 towards the west coast. Overlooking Southeast Asia and Europe. Constant plume coming out of Mount Etna through Italy. Overlooking Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. The SO2 has since diminished since the last update. I was noting all of the SO2 in the southern hemisphere. Whatever was erupting has stopped. And then overlooking South America and a little bit of the southern hemisphere here. Nothing new or major to report. Still some heavy particulates of sulfur dioxide emissions. Again, brought to you by our 45 active and erupting volcanoes. Now let's get to weather here, brought to you by windy.com. Big low crashing into Ontario over the next 24 to 36 hours, set to bring in strong winds, heavy rains, and snow. Big low grinding down the west coast this week, set to bring lots of moisture as far south as central California. Windy and wet conditions through the Atlantic provinces, and then another big system develops here through central United States and the long range and Gulf system here developing for the 11th, set to bring in extreme weather all across the Gulf states. Overlooking Europe, you've got multiple low pressure systems coming into you all this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 low pressure systems. So great days ahead of you, and some very strong winds, especially through the UK and Ireland. And thanks to all of my United Kingdom followers, there are a lot of you over there. Much love and thank you for subscribing. Overlooking Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, parts of Southeast Asia. No major cyclones or typhoons developing in the long range, but interesting low grinding down East Coast Australia, and as well a big system here developing long range forecast for South Africa. Most likely will bring some extreme weather and a lot of hail, strong winds, and storm surge all across South Africa. So heads up everybody, stay safe, and please share this with your friends and family if they reside in South Africa, because this is a big system. Thoughts and prayers going out to everybody affected by the extreme weather events over the past 24 hours that did break out across the United States. Leave you here looking at the Pacific Ocean. Most of these low pressure systems still tracking towards Alaska and northern BC. High pressure ridge through the central Pacific. Until the long range. Looks like we might see one of those highs get squeezed out. Leave you here looking at snowfall accumulations, as we could see upwards of 120 centimeters of snow fall in parts of Denver, Colorado. 10-day long range forecast. And as well, look at all that green and yellow across Canada. Lots of heavy red, upwards of 200 centimeters through northern BC and Alaska. Winter is not over yet, even knowing it is spring. We've still got some remnants and continue to do so. So stay aware and prepared, stay young and have fun, and get your daily due. Bye-bye now. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the world.